10 is from Grosvenor, and I'm looking forward to getting a chance to talk to you, Adam Burstow. Thank you for being with us.
Very nice to meet you.
So you are the Group Digital and IT Director of one of the largest real estate companies. You have, I think you have properties in over 60 different cities worldwide. You have been around, if I'm not mistaken, for 349 years. I mean, something like that,
yes,
right?
Yes.
You wouldn't necessarily assume that a company with that deep continental history would be on the cutting edge of technology, and yet it is. What is it about that company that has had the foresight to make sure that you are involved?
I find myself handling the latest wave of technology to hit our organization.
Yeah.
As you rightly say, it was first formed in the 1680s, and it's had to deal with all sorts of waves of technology, from public sewerage, water supply, through cars, telecommunications, trains. All of these layers of technology have had to be layered onto the city in order for the city to work and for our assets to work in those cities. So this is just the next wave. It's easy to think of this as the kind of defining era of technology, but I'm not sure it is. My predecessors have had to handle the tech that's come their way, and I get to handle digital technology.
What are the keys to getting a company the size and breadth of yours to cheerfully adopting digital technology?
Well, I think firstly, you have to frame the dialogue in the business context. What's the business strategy? And within that, what are the current key themes? And then flowing from that, where can technology plug into that? And what's the value story for technology investment? So I'll give you an example. We're, like many organizations, looking very closely at our corporate purpose. And we see that technology is a part of that. We're not just there to deliver commercial benefit, we're also looking to deliver social benefit. And in order to do that, we need to understand the potential for technology to do good for our communities and also avoid the potential for harm.
Let's talk a little bit about that technology to do good. What are some of the ways that your company is employing that technology?
In terms of the traditional, if you like, corporate IT, that's pretty well built out. There's always stuff going on. In terms of digital, our digital strategy covers 3 areas. First is to create value through digital in the current business. Second is to anticipate digital disruption. And third, to develop digital capability. So to answer your question, in that first area, we look at our value chain of making decisions about investments and developments, delivering those developments, and then operating the buildings and delivering a good customer experience. So examples of where we're applying technology, in terms of operating our portfolio, one of our assets is around 300 acres of central London, and we've just invested very heavily in connectivity, so enabling superfast broadband to all of the properties, getting fibre to more of the properties, having street-side Wi-Fi, so kind of shopping centre Wi-Fi, but applied within the urban street context, and also enhancing the 4G coverage. Some city centres actually struggle with connectivity because it's quite hard to get wired connectivity to small units without the business there having to sign up for big fibre connections.
Right.
And we've been able to enable even the smallest businesses across our portfolio to get that good connectivity.
How do you overcome that barrier that seems to stymie other companies with a fiber connection?
Well, two approaches. Firstly, superfast broadband. So we did the largest ever deal with the UK national telecoms carrier, which is called BT, and have digitally enabled around 70 street-side cabinets where the economics didn't stack up previously. So that will give people 100 meg connections. We do a lot of work in our public realm, and as we work on a street, we now put in ducts and get premises. So we've now got fibre to an increasing percentage of our premises, and it's really making a difference to the businesses that work in them, the people that live in them.
What is it that excites you about what you do the most?
I work for this company with such deep history, but in order to be, in some ways it's a conservative organisation, but to protect that legacy, it has to be radical as well, and it's managing that balance. Myself and my colleagues are the ones that have picked up the ball and are running with it right now. And so for me, making sure that we do our bit and successfully deliver the technology that's going to help the business grow.
Do you ever get resistance? You come up with an idea, you say, you know what, we think we can bring high-speed broadband to a neighborhood that almost any other company would not even try, but we'd like to try to do it. When you encounter resistance, what, in your position as someone who is an IT director, what are your secrets to managing resistance and creating change?
I think it's always really to take the dialogue back into the business context, trying to understand what they're doing as a business. I was on a call earlier today and we were looking at the tech strategy for certain opcos. And we're having that discussion in the context of specific assets. For example, we're talking about some specific assets in Tokyo that we have. And that's the sort of level that we're framing our tech strategy, looking at individual assets or groups of assets and really thinking about how technology can add value. Some of the stuff we do sort of sits across, but I think where it's best and where I get most excited is where you're driving individual initiatives, creating value in a specific situation for a particular part of the business.
For the other IT directors out there who look to you and your company for leadership, what is your word of advice to them? They're bumping up against that. They are dying to create that change within their company, within their cities, within their context. What is your word of advice to those IT professionals?
Search for nuggets of value. Yeah, they often quite small and specific, but search for them, agree them, deliver them, and use that as the basis for the next thing.
And as we wrap up here, Adam, what are the technologies that you're excited to see roll out, not only here at Realcomm 2018, but industry-wide in the next couple of years?
I think over the next couple of years, we've got a few areas. First is big data and analytics, making better decisions about how we invest and develop. Second is tools to ensure the delivery of our £5 billion development pipeline, looking at products like honest buildings. And thirdly then, operationally, making better use of Internet of Things to really drive the efficiency in our portfolio and deliver a great customer experience.
Well, you've been doing it for 350 years. I look forward to you continuing to deliver it and to hearing more about how you can help us do the same. Thank you so much, Adam Burstow.
Thanks very much for your time.
Cheers.
Thank you.